What if I told you Ferrari, yes, Ferrari, is thinking about leaving Italy? Well, not completely, but a major shift might be brewing behind closed doors. One that could rewrite the DNA of the most iconic team in Formula One history. And it's all coming from a surprising source, Nico Rosberg. The former world champion just dropped a rumor that could mean Ferrari's future might not be made in Maranello. Let's break it down, and why this could be a very big deal. Remember when signing Lewis Hamilton was supposed to be the missing piece? Ferrari fans were dreaming of a 2025 title fight. Fast forward 10 races, and the dream is hanging by a thread. McLaren's taken flight. Mercedes has found second wind. Ferrari? They're fighting to hold on to third. Behind the scenes, things are getting loud, and not just in the engine bay. Reports are swirling about team boss Fred Vasseur's job security. Strategy calls are under fire. Internal tension is growing. But now there's a twist no one expected. Ferrari might be eyeing a move into the heart of enemy territory, the UK. According to Nico Rosberg, Ferrari is exploring the idea of opening a UK base, something no one imagined from a team that's lived and breathed Maranello since 1950. Why? Because the Formula One ecosystem, the talent, the technology, the infrastructure, lives in Britain. Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren, Aston Martin, all operate from British soil. All are fast, lean, and dialed in. And Rosberg says that's exactly what Ferrari's missing. At Mercedes, he said, Lewis could go straight to Toto, get a decision, and it was done. At Ferrari, too many people, too many voices. Even Lewis doesn't know who's calling the shots. Now here's where things get complicated. Rosberg admits the idea has major risks. A UK outpost might bring Ferrari closer to the F1 action, but it also risks creating more chaos. If you don't nail the communication, Rosberg said, you're just adding a second problem instead of solving the first. It's not uncharted territory, though. Haas pulls off a hybrid model with its race ops in the UK and tech base in Maranello. Racing Bulls, too, split the difference between Faenza and the UK. But for Ferrari, a team deeply tied to its Italian roots, both culturally and operationally, this would be a seismic shift. It's not just about location, it's about identity. Would a Ferrari built partly in the UK still feel like Ferrari? Or would it be the first step in diluting what made them special to begin with? And more importantly, would it make them fast again? So far this season, Leclerc has carried the load with all three of Ferrari's podiums. Hamilton's only win? A sprint in China. The full Grand Prix victory remains elusive. The championship? Slipping.
The knives are out in Maranello again. But this time, it's not just the usual post-race finger-pointing. This time, a veteran voice from inside the Italian media has had enough. Not of the drivers, not of the fans, but of the spin, the silence, and the excuses. He's not here to protect Fred Vasseur, and he's not here to bury him either. What he wants is simple: truth, clarity, accountability. Because as Ferrari's 2025 campaign spirals further off course, the question isn't just, should Vasseur stay or go? It's how long can Ferrari afford to keep dodging the real conversation? Stick with us, because what Leo Torini just dropped isn't a hit piece. It's a wake-up call. Ferrari's season is imploding. The dream lineup with Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton has yet to deliver a single Grand Prix win. The team sits buried in the standings, and the optimism from preseason, long gone. That failure has triggered a storm of speculation. Vasseur under review by Ferrari's top brass, a deadline set after Silverstone Antonello Coletta, the man behind Ferrari's Le Mans glory, waiting in the wings. Meanwhile, Fred Vasseur is playing defense, blaming the media for trying to destabilize the team. But longtime F1 journalist Leo Torini isn't having it. He's seen this before. He's covered this sport since he was 15, and in his latest blog, he tore through the noise with 4 hard truths. Let's break them down. 1, you can't blame Vasseur for 20 years of underachievement. The rot goes way deeper than him. 2, that said, 2025 is his season, his call sheet, his philosophy, and it's not working. He owns that. 3, stop pretending journalists are the enemy. The media didn't lose these races. The media didn't box Leclerc too early or fail to bring Hamilton a car that works. 4, the current results are ugly. Nobody's denying that. But Torini isn't asking for Vasseur's head, not yet. Why? Because we're standing on the edge of a regulation reset in 2026, and whoever's in charge needs the team's full backing or a clean break. Torini's core argument isn't about emotion, it's about structure and timing. If Ferrari believes Vasseur is the right leader, then stop the drama, extend his deal, show real trust. Let him guide the 2026 project without this constant noise hanging over him. And it's a big one, if Ferrari's upper ranks have already lost faith, then rip off the Band-Aid. Now don't drag it out until the press forces your hand. Don't pretend this is still about performance. Make the call. Whether it's Coletta or someone else, any replacement needs to be shielded from immediate expectations. The 2026 car is already in the pipeline. No new team boss will be able to rebuild that car in time. And that's exactly why Torini draws a hard line. If you fire Fred, Elkann must go public and say the new guy isn't responsible for the short term, because he won't be. Period. That's what Ferrari actually needs. Not cheerleaders, not excuses, not damage control from the pit wall. What they need, in Torini's words, is this: honest witnesses to the truth. So here's the truth Ferrari fans are staring down. And it's uncomfortable. 2025 might already be lost. 2026 is the real shot. And the question now isn't, can Vasseur fix this? It's, is he the one you trust to build the next era? If yes, back him like it. If no, move on. Now before it's too late to save what comes next. He was supposed to bring the magic. He was supposed to be the final piece in Ferrari's title puzzle. But 10 races in, no podiums, and one very loud question is echoing across the paddock. What's really going wrong between Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari? Now, his former boss at Mercedes, the man who watched Lewis conquer F1, is finally weighing in. And his take? It's not about age. It's not about talent. It's about 3 hidden forces that no one wants to say out loud. Stick around, because Toto Wolff just pulled the curtain back on the real Hamilton-Ferrari puzzle. And once you hear his theory, you won't look at this move the same way again. Let's get one thing straight. Lewis Hamilton didn't suddenly forget how to drive. As Toto Wolff puts it, you don't unlearn driving that quickly. This is a 7-time world champion, a man who came within 1 lap of an 8th title in 2021. So why is he struggling to even sniff the podium in a Ferrari? According to Wolff, it's not just one thing. It's a trio of silent obstacles, a new car. Ferrari's SF25 doesn't drive like anything Hamilton's been in before. Different chassis feel, different aerodynamic profile, different engine response. Add in the growing pains of a car that hasn't quite nailed its ride height window, and you've got a machine that fights back when he tries to push. A new culture. For his entire F1 career, Hamilton has raced for British-based teams, McLaren and Mercedes, with engineers, strategists, and systems that match his working style. Ferrari? It's a proudly Italian squad, with its own rhythm, language, and decision-making hierarchy. As Wolff notes, he's a British guy parachuted into an all-Italian team. That kind of shift takes time to settle. The mojo factor. This might sound abstract, but Toto insists it's real. Hamilton has always had slow starts. The magic, the flow, the precision, it ramps up as the season rolls on. We've seen a pattern, Wolff said. Lewis finds his mojo in the second half of the season. In other words, don't count him out yet. Hamilton's frustrations aren't exactly a secret. He said it loud and clear. This car isn't good enough. From Canada to Imola to Monaco, he's been hammering the same point. They need upgrades. They need grip. They need speed. And while team boss Fred Vasseur has confirmed that upgrades are indeed on the way, possibly as soon as Austria, he also warned fans to temper their expectations. We're talking hundredths, not tenths, Vasseur said bluntly. Translation: this won't be a miracle fix. It might tweak handling. It might give Hamilton more balance. But the real issue? Ferrari's inconsistent execution, pit stops, race strategy, tire calls. All the software that surrounds the hardware. Vasseur knows that slapping on new parts won't mean much if the fundamentals aren't locked in. That's why he's putting the pressure back on the garage crew, not just the aero team. Hamilton, for his part, is adapting. He's pushing engineers for answers, trying to rewire the team's habits, challenging the "this is how we've always done it" mindset. Bit by bit, we are making progress, he says, but we need upgrades. We need change. And yet he's already looking past 2025. This year, sure, we'd love second in the constructors, but for me, I want a car that can win in 2026. But that's the real goal, not just surviving the now, but building something unstoppable for what comes next.